In this section, we will discuss educational and classroom practices. Child attendance must be taken by a teacher and inputted into Child Plus each day. The parent sign-in and out sheets must also be completed daily by the parent or approved adult that drops off or picks up the child. These are two separate forms and will be provided to the classroom for completion. Children may only be released to individuals listed on their emergency card, and those individuals must show photo identification. In an effort to keep all of our children safe and accounted for, phone calls must be made to the parent or guardians of the children who are unexpectedly absent. Please consult your site coordinator for the appropriate time to make these phone calls. If a child is absent unexpectedly and you are unable to make contact or communicate with the parent, you must contact the assigned family engagement advocate so they can attempt to make contact. Please make sure that your attendance number matches your classroom count board number at all times. This means take accurate attendance, make sure all teachers in the classroom are aware of the attendance number, and if any children leave the classroom for any reason, like taking a child to the bathroom or leaving for a speech session. And always make sure to count, especially before, during, and after transitions, so that you know at all times that the appropriate number of children are safe in class. As a program, we are required to operate under a Head Start performance standard that states no child shall be left alone or unsupervised while under their care. Keeping accurate count numbers throughout the day, making sure all teachers in the classroom are participating in active supervision and know where each child is at all times, and making counting the children and activity done throughout the day are strategies to keep our children safe. In order to make active supervision successful, teachers must take into consideration the classroom environment and positioning of the staff, as well as the communication between staff that takes place. When thinking about the environment, make sure the classroom furniture and materials allow for the teachers to be able to view every part of the classroom and see and hear children at all times. Have no hidden spots, place high furniture against the wall, or eliminate it altogether. Be sure that the environment allows teachers to always maintain the correct adult-child ratio and never leave children unattended. Staff should always position themselves throughout the classroom instead of staying together in one area. This is called zoning. Staff must always scan and count the students. They must always account for the students in their care, whether they are in the classroom or out of the classroom for whatever reason. As mentioned before, count the students throughout the day and even include them in the counting activities. Some additional factors to help with active supervision are listening for specific sounds or even the absence of sounds to help with the understanding of what is happening in the classroom. Also, anticipating and predicting the students' feelings and reactions to situations, like knowing their interests or what might make them upset or react with a risky behavior. Knowing these things will better prepare you as an educator and keep them safe. As much as possible, staff should wait until children are unable to solve a problem before getting involved and offering support. The support that is given should be individualized to that specific child's needs. This is an example of how knowing your children will help guide your teaching practices, as mentioned in the previous slide. Remember, active supervision means to look, listen, and be aware at all times. And don't forget to count.
Every classroom will have a count board posted on the wall by the door. This must be updated throughout the day as children enter and exit the classroom. This count must be accurate at all parts of the day and should reflect how many students are in the classroom at any given time. At every door there will be a red line of tape. These lines will be at all classroom doors, bathrooms, and exit doors to alert children to not pass the line without an adult. Be sure to teach children they do not cross the red line on the first day of school and reinforce throughout the year. Every classroom will have a rope that should be used at all times. The rope will be used to travel to and from the classroom, gym, outside, on field trips, etc. This is to keep the children safe and together and easily move as one group from one area to another. The curriculum used throughout our Head Start classrooms is creative curriculum. This is a research and theory-based curriculum that focuses on child-initiated ideas with both teacher and child-led activities. Assessments are done 3 times a year using TS Gold online assessment system. Anecdotal notes are taken daily on each child and entered into the TS Gold app from your iPad or online. At the end of each checkpoint period, fall, winter, and spring, these notes will be used to determine the level each child is at in each area and used to help individualize instruction. Within the first 14 days of enrollment, the ASQ3 and ASQ SE2 must be completed for each child. This screening is used to determine where each child is at and whether additional services are needed. Transitions are a time where learning should still take place. Plan what you will do when kids are lining up, walking down the hall, going to the bathroom, etc. This is a great time to do finger plays and songs with the children while waiting on others. Be sure to provide positive feedback to those that are following the rules. Please take a few minutes to look at the Planning for Transitions document in your packet. You will need to complete and submit it to your site coordinator later.
Rest time is part of the daily schedule in all full-day Head Start classrooms. Children are encouraged to rest their bodies but do not have to sleep or stay on their cot. Children that do not sleep should be offered quiet activities. During rest time, it is the responsibility of all classroom staff to actively supervise children. Staff must position themselves in the room to ensure that proper zoning is in place. Classrooms should also have adequate soft lighting so children in walkways are visible at all times. After 1 hour, classroom lights must be turned on. Children that are asleep should be gently woke up so classroom activities can resume. All children are provided with a cot or mat that is labeled with the child's name. Children are also provided a blanket for rest time. Parents may send a blanket to school with their child, or Head Start will provide one if needed. Blankets must be washed on a weekly basis or as they are soiled. Pillows and stuffed animals are not allowed during rest time. Each child's blanket must be stored individually. Cots and mats must be sanitized daily. GISD Head Start must adhere to licensing regulations, which requires that all children are taken outside daily. Children attending a full-day class will go outside twice a day for 30 minutes. Children attending a half-day classroom will go outside once daily for 30 minutes. Children will be kept indoors when it is raining, when the temperature is less than 10 degrees with the wind chill, or when the temperature is more than 98 degrees outside with heat index. When children do not have appropriate clothing, staff should talk to the child's parent and/or consult with their family engagement advocate about extra clothing. As a reminder, staff must actively supervise all children while engaging in outdoor activities with them. The GISD Head Start program adheres to the Genesee County Health Department policy for exclusion from school for communicable disease. When children arrive to school, it is necessary for staff to observe the overall health of each child. If there are any unusual symptoms noted, staff should have a private discussion with the parent to seek additional information. If a staff member has questions and/or concerns, they should consult their site coordinator. As we all know, illnesses and infections spread quick among young children. Therefore, it is important to continuously monitor children and identify symptoms immediately. If a child develops symptoms while they are at school, they should be separated from their classmates. An adult should constantly monitor and comfort the child as needed. The office or site coordinator should be notified prior to calling home. If a child experiences the following symptoms, they should be sent home: fever, diarrhea, vomiting, body rash, and eye discharge. There is paperwork to document everything we do in Head Start. The following forms need to be submitted weekly: the attendance sheet, sign-in, sign-out sheet, the original copy of the weekly meal attendance. Please do not use whiteout on this form. A copy of the weekly meal attendance record, the daily health and safety checklist, the child absentee late arrival follow-up form, supply order form, lesson plans, and the individualization form. The following forms need to be turned in monthly: the menu with temperatures, refrigerator temperature log, and the volunteer record sheet. The following forms need to be turned in on an as-needed basis. The accident or incident report form, which is used when a child is injured at school. The child information card, also known as the emergency card. This is used when a new child enrolls or when many changes are needed to the current card. The employer's basic report of injury form, which is filled out when an employee is injured on the job. The late pickup form, which is filled out when a child is picked up late. There's also the home visit form, which is filled out with the family during home visits, and the parent-teacher conference form. These forms can all be located in the green binder and on the O drive.